Kind of hungry. Well, can't afford takeout. Nothing. What the hell, man? What you doing over there?
I realized something. It's your week to clean the kitchen.
The dishes?
The dishes. The dishes, the countertops, the floor.
The vacuum.
The vacuuming. That.
You scared me. You scared me.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Coming in the room so
It's
loud.
okay, I'm sorry, but it's just I did it last week. I need it done this week. Pronto.
All right, I'll get to it. All right, I'll get to this. I'll get to all of it.
I appreciate it. In fact, by the time I'm done gaming, I would like it done. Because that's what I'm going to do right now.
I mean, I got to vacuum, and I got to dust, and I got to do the dishes.
Exactly. And I got a game for a couple hours.
I think I should just eat first, maybe.
No! Get it done!
All right, I'll be done. I'll be done
See you
soon.
in a couple hours.
What a prick. I got to figure out a way to get out of these chores. That little prick, I know what I'm going to do now. This ought to knock him out, so I can put that chip in his head. He loves his coffee. Now just to give it to him. Hey, bro.
Oh, what's up, bro? What's going on?
I brought you some coffee.
Oh, that is so nice of you.
Yes.
Interesting. Is this because you're taking your sweet time in the kitchen or what?
Yeah, I guess I'm taking a little long. I got the dishes done. I'm going to just go do vacuuming now.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool. Well, make sure you get her done. Because I'm about done here.
All right, see you later.
By the time I'm done,
drink up. That's don't want it getting cold.
It smells delicious. I love my coffee. I appreciate it. What a nice brother. How many brothers do that, you know? I get tired. Oof, I might have to put one.
Perfect. He's asleep now. Now just to install this chip. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think I got it. That's alright. That's okay. Just get that back in there. And we should be good. I've got to get this blood off me. Now to see if my plans have come to fruition. Will my severed chip work? Will I be able to make him do all the chores all the time? Neil, coffee's ready. What the? Bro? Huh. The coffee's ready, man.
I don't feel so well. Please help me.
I don't think it worked. Hello and welcome to Beilman's Corner again.
Yes. This
For
week.
our fifth video.
Fifth video?
I think we're at 5. This will
Okay,
be our
yeah,
fifth
I didn't think about that before I started, but yeah, 5 videos. So that's
So,
not
yeah.
much yet, but
No.
this
well,
we're gonna be
it's
talking. We're gonna talk about Severance this week.
Yeah, Severance, a very popular
Very
Apple TV
popular show.
program.
Yeah, we're just gonna
Yeah.
kind of update you to where we're at now, what we like about the show.
Yeah. basically they just finished the season 2 finale.
Yep.
Which was a banger. The whole season to me was a banger.
Yeah.
Some people had some complaints.
There were some complaints,
which we'll
for season
address.
2. But up till
now, so season 1 came along and kind of came out of nowhere for people.
Came out of nowhere. I liked it.
Yeah, we caught it when it was airing.
Yep, I saw it was a Ben Stiller show, and I was like, Ben Stiller, really? He's going to start doing this now?
The season 1, it like lures you in, and you're like, oh, this is kind of like just an office comedy type of thing. But then it kind of has starker implications
by season 2 for sure,
and you start finding out more about this world that Severance is built in.
Yeah,
and it's a very surreality compared to our own, I guess. Almost Lynchian in ways. Yeah. I definitely would say if you're a fan of the Twin Peaks and shows of such.
I like how it started as a character study, you know?
Yeah, very much. So the first season you're introduced to the 4 main characters.
And it's very much a mystery, the first season,
and
basically.
These 4 main characters.
You know very little about them.
So yeah, the whole idea in Severance is that you can cut yourself off, your work life, from your outside life.
Yes.
So there's the term of innie and outie.
Yep.
Now, which essentially there's a chip that can be implanted in the back of your brain, and
when you go
to work, your person goes out of existence. Yeah, your consciousness kind of gets tucked away in your brain.
Something a lot of us would like to do.
And another consciousness emerges.
Still work your day, and then when you go home at night, you go back to yourself, you go back to your family, whatever you got at home.
So that's the general crux behind the concept of the show.
In the first season, only follows one main character. Yeah, one main character.
But if you want more about first season, I suggest going and just Googling up at the YouTube.
Exactly, because we're going to talk about what we like.
We'd like to talk about season 2 more so.
Yeah, and our audience probably knows the show by now.
Yeah.
And so when season 3 rolls around, we'll be able to go week to week with you.
Yeah, I assume if you're watching this video, you probably have seen season 1 already.
Exactly.
So there's going to be spoilers ahead.
A little bit.
And we're just going to kind of talk freely about the show.
Yeah, as if you've seen it, of course.
So.
Yeah.
In season 2,
a
big moment occurs by the end of the season where
it's crazy.
Our main character, Mark, both his innie and outie, I guess you can say both of them get reunited with their loves.
Yep. And we get to know our characters a lot more.
Yeah,
very
we get to know the world. What I love is this show isn't messing around, and it's building its world. It is answering questions we had left
now, and I think that upset a lot of people because season 1 was such a slow trickle. You know, like you got to know these characters very slowly.
Yeah, and now I mentioned before that some people had some complaints about the season.
Yep.
I have a little theory that some people had there was 3 years between season 1 and season 2, which was a big issue. Yep. Hopefully that's not going to happen again.
Yeah, because we want to talk about it a lot sooner than that. Yeah, you know.
But season 2, some people thought that season 2, when they had the question answered, they weren't satisfying. I disagree. I love the show very much. If I were to give it a rating on a 10 scale, I'd be putting it up like at a 9 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
It's that good of a show.
I'd give it a 9.5.
Even that high. Yeah, it's getting close to the 10. It's getting close to a 10.
Yeah. Maybe I wouldn't add the plus on yet because there's more to come. And I think
I'd like to see if they can stick the landing in the whole series.
Yeah.
And bring
everything. I could see where the audience was shocked. It was almost like
sometimes it was like sometimes they dumped this revelation on you,
revelation after
seemed like episode after episode you were getting these major revelations.
Oh, it was great.
Some people didn't like Harmony Cobell's episode.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic.
She's the boss of Severance. Was in first season 1 that's been booted out and kind of forced out of the company.
Yep.
And now she's on her own little side mission.
Strong. You can tell she's going to kind of be on their side now.
I don't trust her though. I think that she also has ulterior motives.
Yeah,
for sure. We'll have to find out in the future.
But it's great where they left you thinking that she started this company and someone stole it out from under her. And they were kind of just leading her along because it seems like her father's very much in the company.
And something else is people had issues with but like every episode of this show is like a piece of art.
Yeah.
Because it is like the cinematography is just...
It's fantastic.
It is just an A+ level of cinematography.
From cinematography to
to
writing,
scripting, to
scripting,
storytelling, everything has fit together, in my opinion, as a very nice, comfy jigsaw puzzle.
And it makes sense, because
there's
all these
still
people
very
have been
chunks
doing
of the
it for
board that are missing.
a long time. From the actors to the directors, they've been doing it a long time.
Yeah,
but
that's
the directors
true.
besides
Stiller's been
Stillers.
around for God knows how long directing now.
But even the other directors too, and the actors have all done it. Been there.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
John Turturro and Christopher Walken and Patricia
Isn't the girl who
Arquette.
plays Ellie kind of new? Or
Ellie.
has she done other? I'm not
She's
sure.
newish. I don't know Ellie.
I'd have to look her history up
actress
because I honestly don't know that actress's
But
history.
she's another new character that's just amazing. Her and the chubby counterpart. I'm gonna forget his name.
Let's see. This Dylan.
Dylan. He's hysterical too. They're kind of the only two
That's
actors
what I
I
liked
don't know
about
so
this
well. I'm sure
season.
they've done work before, but
So something very good about this season too was that they did. I think they were able to get deeper into the other members of the office.
Yep.
Deeper.
Very revealing about them too.
And that's just it. You got a lot of reveals about their Audis
So many.
that we didn't know about in season 1.
That's but I kept liking the characters. That's where I didn't get where people were coming from, because even though the news was coming fast and
In that
hard, the
revelation-
characters are still super interesting.
Yeah, in the revelation, big spoiler, that Harmony Cobell was the creator of Severance.
Yeah.
Was like,
Mind blowing. She's kind of like the L. Ron Hubbard of the whole situation.
yeah, and it's like the fact that Lumen stole all her tech and like claimed it as herself.
Yeah.
And that she was such a ride or dyer for Kier and Lumen.
Yeah.
That she put up with it, basically.
She did, yeah. She really did.
Because she got, I
First
guess she
season,
got
she
to
was
get
so
oversight of the
subservient.
project, essentially, because.
But you
she
saw
was the
her
head of the
throwing little
department.
fits. You did see her throwing little fits.
So when that reveal came,
It kind of made all that came back.
like season 1,
Her bitchiness
and all her
and everything
bitchiness in
about it.
season
Yeah,
1,
and
like
kind of barking
why
back
she
when
was
things
kind
went
of
awry.
like how she was stern,
And
but
like, why
also,
aren't I higher up in this situation?
how
I'm
she
still
interacted
like a
with the
manager here.
board of Lumen.
Still had to answer to a board. Yeah,
It was like, that makes so much more sense now that she's like a bitter employee
Think of what
because
you think. Yeah.
her invention was stolen from her.
So that came really quick too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was all of a sudden the creator, and now it made sense that why she kind of went. She had to go all kind of off the grid to escape this company. You know, imagine if L. Ron Hubbard came down and was like.
So I think honestly,
What Scientology does to its people, they disappear them sometimes.
Yeah, I would have said like season 1 was like a 9 out of 10 for me. Season 2 is like a 9.5 out of 10.
I'd agree with that.
So yeah,
I think a lot of people would disagree.
I think a lot. Yeah, that's interesting
Because the Lynchian aspects were so, like, the surrealist aspects.
But what I was saying before is that I think a lot of people built
makes
up
sense now.
over the 3-year gap.
Yep.
Had all these wild, and if you go on all these forums you could see like all these crazy theories about what the goats were for. And like, people were like saying, this is where they're storing the people's consciousness within those
So we're
goats.
assuming the audience probably knows all those too.
So
Our
I
audience of
think when it
25
turned
or
out,
50 people.
goats are just there for the sacrifice because this is a crazy cult company. Some people weren't so happy with that fact. Maybe they got upset because it wasn't it makes a lot more sense and is a lot more.
I thought it was great.
Allows for a lot more base in reality than them storing consciousness in goats.
Plus, it introduced Gwendolyn Christie, which is always awesome. She's cool to have.
But the fact I think a lot of those
really
answers that came this season were that make sense to me.
Yeah.
And are like, oh my god, that was genius.
Yeah.
That I didn't see coming in a lot of ways, but I think a lot of people were going just with a lot of wild theories that didn't come to fruition.
I think
so. I think maybe that might be a small segment of the populace that has a stick up their butt about that, which I can see because with 3 years to ponder all this stuff, I was aboard with that.
Yeah.
I was like, it's going to be this. I was very much in that boat of crazy theories like that. So
that's what you do when you're watching a show.
But so it was really great.
You can't be hurt.
That the show was able to answer these questions in a way that fulfilled the story properly.
And was still interesting. And now I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
Also introduced new mysteries on top of it, and like new
and it did stay
story
surreal.
arcs that are going to be able to happen.
Yeah, and it stayed surreal to an extent, like the Gwendolyn Christie and the Goats introduction.
How would you categorize Severance?
Like as a show. Like because me, I think it is a very hard sci-fi show as its basis, especially in season 1 because of the technology involved.
Yeah.
And like any good hard sci-fi, they ask interesting moral quandaries about like consciousness. And
I think
humanity.
it covers a lot. Like
I think
a lot of
it's
shows
a
nowadays.
character drama as
Yeah.
well, but I think its basis is definitely sci-fi.
Sci-fi, but I'd say there's
They
surrealist
clearly have
comedy
a
in there.
reverence for Twilight Zone as we do, as in one of the episodes this season.
Yeah.
They literally reference when Harmony pulls up to a gate at
Yeah.
this birthing facility, Lumen birthing facility. She uses like code talk, and it's a direct reference to a Twilight Zone episode.
Oh, you're right. The
Why can't I remember the name of the episode now?
was it Twilight Zone or the
Yeah,
Day
well, no,
the
it
Earth
was
Stood
Twilight.
Still?
No, Twilight Day. It was a Twilight Zone episode reference to one of the mannequin that gets a day
Oh,
in
yes.
the real world. It gets
The
to spend a
department
week-
store mannequin. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. We'll have to put a
A
little
clip in
insert
that.
here.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll do a little clip somewhere.
Yeah. But no, you're right. There's all these references to sci-fi for sure.
So,
but I
yeah.
think there's surrealist comedy in there too, for sure.
So, yeah,
there's
there-
mystery. There's so many things. It's
such
like a lot
good
of
show.
shows
It's a
nowadays.
very good show. Like
where
Neil
it
said
covers
before,
a lot of
Lynchian.
bases.
There's very Lynchian elements to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they've even come out and said that even, like
Yeah,
Ben Stiller
and it's
I don't
it's
know.
a really high quality show.
Or it's just
and,
obvious, yeah.
Honestly, Apple is putting out bangers. Like outside of this,
It's another
I'm going
Apple
to cover
show.
Silo at some point, maybe just independently.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I'll convince him to watch it fully through, and we can do it. Beilman's Corner on it or something. But nonetheless, Silo's been great. I liked For All Mankind. Apple
Yeah.
TV is probably the best bang for your buck. I'd
Knocking
say.
them out of the park.
With really high quality shows.
Yeah.
Like their shows are on the level of something like HBO shows, I would say.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say so too.
I've watched a lot more than he probably has on Apple TV.
Yeah.
But
no, I've
Severance,
enjoyed it.
Severance is probably
is-
their top-notch program.
It
and that's
really
like-
is. It makes sense why it's gotten very popular.
So,
And that,
So, yeah,
I'm
I-
excited.
it's definitely highly recommended between the two. You can see that we have a fond love of it.
Yeah, it's like a
Well-
character study in reverse almost. Like you got the mystery was first, and now you're finally getting to know these characters.
So to wrap it up, I guess I don't want to go into too many spoilers. Just watch the show is what I would suggest.
Yes, for
But,
sure. It's definitely a recommendation.
We're going
on
to talk
our
about.
part.
I'd
That's what
like
we're
to
doing
talk
so
about
far.
the ending
Yes.
and what you think season 3 is going to hold.
Yeah, season 3 is going to be great, obviously. And,
So at the end
we're
of
gonna
the
talk about it
season,
every week to
literally what happens is
when
Mark,
that happens.
Mark.
Yeah.
So they develop this plot to get Gemma
Yeah.
out of the office.
Yeah, because Gemma's alive.
She's down
They
on the
find out
testing
she's
floor.
alive. Yeah, his
Yeah,
wife
being
is alive.
used as
The
a,
big
basically
mystery
as a
for
guinea
season
pig
1.
for the company of Lumen.
Yeah, and she's going through all. It's horrific.
We
what
don't
they're
know one of
doing
the
to her. It's
mysteries that
torture.
are maybe be introduced and answered in season 3 is
Yeah.
why the hell was she down there and actually seemingly willingly with only one act of defiance that we get to see
Yeah.
in the show.
Yeah, it's weird.
Um,
She's so complacent with everything, but they're obviously.
So we gotta.
brains
So
here.
hopefully that part and like
Yeah.
why did Lumen do this to her?
Uh-huh.
Why is it? Because there is a link that goes back all the way to the Gemma and Mark meeting
Yeah.
at some point, where they were because they met at a blood drive and
If you could, yeah, they met at a blood drive, and that was not one of the skits they did with her, or they
but
make.
then
her
you find
relive-
out that the blood machine's a Lumen. The
Yep.
Lumen doctor that's testing her on the testing floor was helping them with their birth treatment when she couldn't have babies.
Yes, there's the
Um,
connections.
So
to
there's
the
all these
regular life.
connections in their past.
Yeah.
And so there's something to do either with Gemma.
But it's all very
specifically.
sick. Like they literally kidnapped her essentially and tracked her down.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
at the end of the show, they do manage to get her out.
Yes, they get
But
her out, but
any
then
Mark-
any Mark changes back into.
As I assume
himself.
any individual would do, would
He didn't know who she was.
choose his lover that he actually knows instead of this stranger that's behind a door.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as he knows,
But
Gemma, he only knows Gemma's innie.
Yep.
I mean, he never met Gemma otherwise.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think it's a great dichotomy between love at first sight and love gestated, because it's like they're just as powerful as each other, So this guy who has just met this other woman,
So, yeah,
but is in love with
So
her.
what made the finale was so great.
Yeah.
Well, there's some of these questions that like it introduces like these
Like that.
dichotomies.
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
What you're talking about.
It's fantastic. I love it because it gets you thinking that way, and it's like, and it's real life. The things it covers, like
Yeah, is it lust? Is it lustful love? Because I mean, basically, the innies are only 2-year-old children.
Yep.
Maybe Gemma's innies.
Yep. And it's hilarious,
older.
like the way they
Helly's innies
illustrate that. The way he throws little fits sometimes.
Yeah,
he very
it
much
is.
acts
It's very
like a
good. It's
teenager.
very well
His
done.
innie does, but
Oh.
his long, just his person who's lived over a long life is very has cultivated.
And the ending is
wisdom,
almost
you know?
like bittersweet because they do get Gemma out.
Yep.
But this crushing to see Gemma, who's just finally reunited with, because for a moment earlier on in the episode,
Maybe she'll
they
see it
do
the way we're seeing it.
She does get to see Outie Mark too, and they both get to have a moment together in the elevator where they're kissing, and then like, they get to the severed floor, and all of a sudden they're Outies, and they're like, "Whoa, what are we doing?"
Yes.
So Outie Mark ends up abandoning Gemma.
Yes.
And it leaves us with Helly.
Yeah.
Helly shows up, and they both.
It toys with your emotions because
Yeah.
one second you're going
'Cause it's
hooray,
like-
and then the next second you're
feel
like,
crushed
no,
for
this
Gemma
can't be
and Mark,
happening.
But you also feel happy in some ways for Helly and
No,
Annie.
well,
Annie
me
Mark.
personally, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
No, I felt
Right off.
horrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did too. But I also do
You start
understand
thinking
to a
and you
degree.
understand to a degree.
I can
yeah.
understand it. So,
For sure.
and it introduces what's going to happen next.
Yeah, oh, I just
What's
love it.
like? I mean, are they like? What are Mark and any Helly thinking
Yeah.
they're gonna do? I mean, they're trapped in a company here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe with this merriment and design, maybe they're gonna lead a rebellion on the inside.
That's
Who
what
knows
I
what's
think's
gonna
going to happen, and I think a lot of people's thinking that's going to happen.
But I mean,
That's
it
what I
literally has
first
the power
was
just to
freaking out.
click and turn them to innies.
Yeah.
Outies. And
I know, yeah. So it's,
so
gotta
it's
be
like, what kind of
extremely-
rebellion can you hold against this company?
But they've already showed that they're toying with the getting, fixing that. Like on the outside, they've already figured out how to get Mark back to his outie self. How to kind of dictate that. So I think there's capable people on the outside that they know that can help out.
it's
And
gonna
there's
be-
people on the outside
and then
that are not
Gemma's
on the
going to
inside
be getting
helping.
on. I think Gemma's
His
going to
sister.
escape. I don't think she's going to be
Yep.
able to be stopped once she's outside on that escaped route.
Exactly.
What are they going to do? Murder her? Like pull her back in when? I'm sure
But she won't have
I'm
the
sure
same
Mark's
resources.
sister's outside, and so Harmony Cabell's going to be out there
Yeah.
waiting for Mark and Gemma to show up, and it's just going to be Gemma.
Yeah.
So that season 3, that's going to be another story arc we're going to be able to follow.
But it will be tough because all their outies don't really have any of the power that the innie selves of the people within that group have, like Cobell.
But it's really just such a good, deep show. And the questions, and it's leaving us for such a good, satisfying resolutions from season 2 for a lot of the
I just hope
questions.
it's not
we left
another
in season
4 years.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it's not 3 years. Hopefully that.
When I
from
started
what I've
season
heard,
2 again, I was
from what
kind
I've
of
read, I
lost
think they're
and
going to get done already
frustrated.
quicker, so it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah,
I think they're
yeah.
planning on
But it's
2027
just like
it coming
that
out.
now, TV, yeah, it's
So it should be a
frustrating.
year from now, hopefully. We
Or
see them
productions,
again.
not even
I think
TV.
that's what I heard. If I'm not mistaken, I'll have to double check.
What year?
I'll put up a clip here.
Yeah, they've
showing an article.
A much
showing when
clearer
it's coming out.
itinerary. I know it's season 3, and I heard them even saying a season 4 looks like it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a 4-season arc.
Yep.
So anyway,
Oh, okay, good.
maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see.
We'll see.
It's a great show. We
It's a great
highly
show.
recommend it.
Yep. When it does come back, we'll be talking about it.
It leaves a lot of new questions coming for season 3 that we
Yeah.
get all on board for, and it
I'm
resolved a
excited.
lot of the questions we had from season 1. But yeah, we recommend it highly.
Yeah.
Go check out Severance on Apple
Severance.
TV Plus. They have
I'm
a
sure you
3-week
probably
free
have
membership
already.
thing
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on, I think, right now.
Yeah.
So go pick it up and just binge it
Yeah.
because it's worth the binge. It's worth the
You
subscription.
will binge it probably, yeah.
So yeah,
Only
we
20
highly
episodes or
recommend it.
yeah.
We've talked to you off about it already. Thank you for joining us here on Beilman's Corner.
We'll see you at season 3.
Like and subscribe,
Yep.
and we'll see you in season 3.
Yep.
Next up, we're going to talk about
Jack Reacher, that's right.
Next video
Yeah,
too.
we'll see you for
So
that.
That's another one. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
And like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you.